Mr. Olympia. It's here once again. I've been following Mr. Olympia since, I'll probably say since the late 80s, early 90s. And it's always been something of a motivation to me watching these guys who basically spent an entire year bulking, then cutting, then getting into prep shape, and then just all the dieting, all the work it takes for these guys to get to that stage for that one day where they get to shine at their best. For me, it's always been something I've loved seeing. One of my first Mr. Olympia shows that I watched on television, basically, and through magazines. I remember watching Ronnie Coleman, Kevin Laverne, Sean Ray, Flex Wheeler. Like, that was such, like, seeing those four stacked up against each other, man, wow. Jay Cutler. So those guys got me into working out and bodybuilding, trying to get my muscles bigger on buy the Flex magazine and read all the articles, see all the workouts, try to emulate all the workouts. And let's be honest, we've watched bodybuilding grow all these years. But I miss the old school bodybuilding, like when there was a lot of aesthetics, like, even though they have the men's physiques, it's changed a lot. Like guys are just too big. They're too massively huge. Even though we're like, whoa, you look at a Nick Warren, and you see the size of this guy. This guy's huge. You look at a big Ramy. Like these guys they're just mammoth monsters now. But the thing is now, bodybuilding to me, I got into it because it was healthy. I would I actually bought Arnold Schwarzenegger's Encyclopedia to Bodybuilding. That and I read that entire book. That book really helped motivate me to say, you know what? I want to get muscles, but I also want to live healthy because that's what bodybuilding to me back in then those days was about, not just building muscles, but building muscles and being healthy at the same time. Now, Mr. Olympia, it's like they're building muscles, but the health factor is almost like it's kind of non-existent because of the PEDs everyone's taking. Like, it's just nuts. The stuff that guys are taking now is literally probably triple and quadruple the amount of drugs that people were taking back in the 70s and the early 80s. Which is why I really call those the golden age of bodybuilding. Because for me, it all changed when you saw Dorian Yates step on stage and you're like, whoa. That was the beginning of the mammoth monsters where everyone said, okay, you know what? I got to focus on getting bigger. Who cares about cutness? Who cares about stomach? Let's focus on getting big. And that has led us to where we are right now with the mammoth monsters out there who they're just big. That's it. They're just huge. They got lots of muscles, but they've pushed their body to an unhealthy state. And it's funny, Arnold Schwarzenegger put out an article, and I read the article, and well, not an article. He put out a statement, and it was written in an article, and the article it gave some very valid points on what's wrong with the bodybuilders in this age. Now, in the article, he states that bodybuilders today are lifting weights that the body was not meant for. And what he's talking about is the whole health aspect of when we watch videos of Ronnie Coleman, for example, this guy is literally deadlifting. He's deadlifting like 800 pounds. He's basically squatting around the same amount of marks. And when we look at what his body is now, the amount of surgeries, everything he's done from pushing himself so hard, his body is now basically is so frail when we look at it. So everything he did, yeah, he got the accolades, he got everything, but your body has literally fallen apart at the age you are right now, Mr. Coleman. It sucks because I idolize Ronnie Coleman, his massive size, like the way how, like, his that back spread was just like insane from Ronnie Coleman. But look at the cost it came with. the multiple surgeries, the back injuries, and it's almost like he can't even lift no more. And when you have a passion for lifting, like me, I have a passion for lifting. I now have started cutting down on my heavy lifts. Most of the lifts I do right now are basically, I'll lift heavy for literally 25% of my workouts. The other 75 is all accessories. I'm going for the pump. I'm going for the burn. I'm not going for that crazy heavy lift to complete exhaustion with every single exercise. That is not healthy. You're going to have to take time, especially for the fact that I work out 6 days a week. So what I'm trying to say is that we're getting ready for Mr. Olympia 2023. And when we look at the stage at the mammoth size of these guys, I'm really hoping that we've basically topped out, because the size of these guys, they can't get any more bigger. There's no more bigger than you can get than right there. The only thing that could come in the way is a guy who's maybe 6'7", and he basically slaps on an insane amount of muscle. He would have to have the genetics of literally Superman to come into an Olympia, be like 6'7", and just completely jacked of muscles, weighing at like 350 pounds. But we've reached the limit of where bodybuilding is going when it comes to size. So I really would like to see more of the aesthetics, even though you have the men's classic division, which I'm rooting for Chris Bumstead to win again, fellow Canadian. But we will see. We will see what will happen going with Mr. Olympia in the future. But regardless, I'm still going to watch the show this weekend. It should be off the chain. Mr. Olympia 2023. Let's see what's going to happen. Will Big Ramy hold his crown? Well, that's it for me. Fitness Prophet, out.